Good day, everyone. I'm your host, Lee Judge, and welcome to today's webinar entitled Extend Voice IVRs Visually, Save Millions Annually, brought to you by Jacada. As a note, to honor the privacy of our attendees, only your name will appear in the attendee window. Our presenters today are Yaron Ben-Slush, AVP Strategic Partners for Jacada, and Mary E. Burr, Global Alliance Manager at Interactive Intelligence. Today we'll discuss key benefits in leveraging the Interactive Intelligence platform with Jacada's Omnichannel solution. We'll also cover how the Jacada self-service offering drove over $6 million in annual savings for a Fortune 100 North American-based company. Following the presentation, there will be a question and answer session, so please feel free to type your questions into the Q&A window at any time. Also, again, to honor the privacy of our attendees, only your name will appear in the attendee window. So let's begin. We'll start the conversation with Yaron Ben-Slush. The presentation's all yours, Yaron.
Thank you, Lee. And I think I would like to move the presentation right to Mary so she can speak into the interactive intelligence part of the discussion and the partnership and alliance program. Can you please make Mary the...
Yeah, I'm trying to unmute. Okay, there she is.
Thanks, Yaron and Lee, and welcome everyone. I just wanted to give a quick overview of our Interactive Intelligence Partner ecosystem. This slide is a great visual of our partner ecosystem. We have consultants and referral partners that recommend our solution. Of course, we have channel partners, or some refer to them as reseller partners, as well as telco carrier partners that sell, service, and support our solutions. We also have partners that want to integrate and customize who do not resell our software, which are system integrators. Going back to the far left of the diagram, we have alliance partners to complement our offerings. At Interactive Intelligence, we look to our alliance partners and integration solutions to complement our overall offerings. Thanks to partners like Jacada, we are able to offer capabilities to customers. Our program was designed to ensure we provide our customers with the competitive weapons they have come to expect to beat their competition, and to provide exceptional customer service. As part of this ecosystem, Jacada is enabled to provide our global customer base with rich feature functionality, product innovations, and market expertise in the form of services and products. Many of you today on this call may have seen Jacada's previous webinar held in May, hosted by Interactive Intelligence, or visited their booth at Interactions in June. The webinar today is an update and refresh of their integrated solution IC. So with that, I will turn it over to you, Yaron.
Thank you very much for that, Mary, and thank you, Lee, and welcome everyone. Maybe we take a look into the agenda and what we have prepared for today. We will look into the integration between Jacada Visual IVR and Interactive Intelligence platform. We will demonstrate how the Jacada Visual IVR help organizations to increase adoption into self-service, to reduce the consumer effort while engaging with the organization, and even more important, to increase the success and containment rate over the self-service offering. We will also look into contextual channel hopping, and we will demonstrate how we connect consumer across any digital or voice channel to an assistant agent, and how we do it contextually, and by those reducing the effort on both consumer and agent side. We have prepared a demo to show you both consumer and agent experience while using the application, and we will then walk you through a case study of a Fortune 500 organization here in North America, and show how Jacada Visual IVR helped this organization to drive a saving of over $6 million annually. We will speak quickly over different use cases across different industry and vertical, and we will then run a closing and leave some time for Q&A. So I would expect that to, all in all, to take about 30 minutes, and please use the chat window to send any question you may have during the presentation. So we can start now. Maybe a few words about Jacada. We are in business for about 25 years. We are a customer care technology company, and we help organizations simplify and reduce the effort across all touch points and the interaction between the organization and its customer. Now, traditionally, we were focusing on the physical channel. People may know us as the market leader around the agent desktop unification, point of sale, all the physical channel. And in the last 4 years, we actually extend our offering to address engagement across all digital and mobile channels. Now, over the year, we helped so many organizations to save over a few hundreds of millions of dollars. We have millions of consumers and tens of thousands of agents that actually benefit from the Jacada products on a daily basis. If we want to look into our footprint in the marketplace, so you can see here organizations across different industry and vertical, and this is just an example. If we look into the healthcare, we can see Blue Cross Blue Shield, AmeriHealth, M&M, etc. We have a strong footprint within the telco, with organizations in the scale of DirecTV, T-Mobile, Vodafone, Cox, looking into the retail with Best Buy, Staples, Priceline, the Home Depot, etc. We are a global organization with headquarters based out of Atlanta, Georgia. We have sales and support remote hubs across the globe in EMEA, Asia Pacific, and Latin America. And we go to market with different local and global partners. And we are actually shifting our go-to-market strategy from a direct to indirect, and the partnership we develop with Interactive Intelligence is a good example of that. Saying that about Jacada maybe makes sense to drive into the solution. We will look into Jacada Visual IVR. We will identify and walk you through the pains we see with today's self-service offering and see how Jacada Visual IVR helps to address those both in respect of business and technology. So if we look into the pain, and this is just averaging of the number, so your number may look higher or lower. This is based on Forrester, Gartner reports, and what we evidence with production side and prospect that we talk to. So let's see how customers engage with the organization. We see that here on the top, around 60% of the customer will try to do some sort of self-service before they pick up the phone and call into the organization. They can do it over the mobile, they can do it over the web. The nice part of it is about 30% of those will manage to complete the interaction successfully over the self-service. But the key pain is about 70% of those will have to quit the self-service because they cannot complete that successfully, and they will have to revert into the voice channel. And the key pain here is with today offering, there is no continuity between the different touch points. So when the agent picks up the phone, he doesn't know who you are not authenticated, and he has no clue of what you have done on the self-service side. So this is the first pain. The second pain going to the rest of the 40% of the user that just pick up the phone and call into the organization 1-800 number, and they bump into the IVR. Now, we like it or not, IVR is not the best tool for self-service, mainly because the nature of IVR, which is limited to voice. And another point is that we see that a very excessive call volume is running into and ends up into the assistant agent, which drives the total cost of ownership and the operation cost to be very high. So we are looking into three pains. We are looking into the lack of continuity between the touch point. We are looking into excessive call volume running into the contact center, and we are looking into poor customer experience. Now, we believe Visual IVR addresses all these pains, and basically with Visual IVR, what we are offering to convert the interaction from an audio interaction into a visual interaction. Now, once we move to a visual interaction, of course, we can enhance the flow, enhance the offering and the capability we enable to customer. And with that, we have the objective to increase the success rate over the self-service and the containment rate. And for those calls that do connect to an assistant agent, we can really reduce the effort on the consumer side and the agent side and dropping the handling time. So let's go into the mapping of pain and see where Visual IVR can actually be a good fit. So first we look into the self-service adoption rate. So we can empower customers with better access to IT tools, to information, with the objective that they can complete the interaction on the self-service side. So we can increase the adoption and the containment rate. Second piece, looking for those customers that spend some time and effort on the self-service side, and now they cannot complete successfully. They need to connect into an assistant agent. What we can really offer here is we can really map the entire customer journey. We can really authenticate the customer on the self-service side. So when the customer is connected into an assistant agent, we can equip the agent with a screen pop. The agent will know who the customer is. The customer in most cases will be authenticated, and the agent can see what was the customer journey and where was the point of failure in the customer experience. And by those, the agent can really drive the interaction immediately into resolution, reducing the effort on the agent side and the consumer side. And the third point, going again for those customers that actually pick up the phone and bump into the IVR. So we can really offer them a better way to interact with the organization. We can offer them to opt in into a visual experience. And we will show you during the demonstration in the case study what are the adoption rate and what is the success rate we managed to gain with the visual IVR application. So all in all, if we're looking into visual IVR, there are three key value points. One is increase the call deflection. The second one is reducing the handling time and the effort on the agent side and the consumer side. And of course, the third element is improving the customer experience, improving their experience and loyalty into the organization. Maybe now it makes sense just to speak very shortly about the application and how the solution look like. So what you see here in the top is the different touch points. So customer can engage with the organization over a web engagement, which could be over the web, over social media, any digital device. They can use their mobile device either by digital or voice, or can just pick up the phone and call into the organization. We will focus today into the voice interaction, into the voice channel with visual IVR, but definitely the platform can intercept call across any given touch point. And the platform itself built of three major components. What you see here on the left is the integration into the IVR. So we already have a plugin and a certification into the interactive intelligent IVR. The second element is a designer. When we move from an audio type of interaction to visual interaction, we probably want to augment the decision tree and the offering that we enable customer to run. So we have a designer, which is basically a business user tool. It's a visualized type of a solution with a drag and drop play that can really, a business user can build new interaction, can test them in a very controlled environment, in a test environment, and they can populate them across all the touch points. So basically you build one, and you can publish across the different touch points. And the third element, going back into the connectivity to the agent and built on the core competence of Jacada, which is integration, we can really integrate the entire customer journey, any click, any data entry that the customer has done on the self-service side, and equip the agent with a screen pop, so when the agent picks up the phone, he can see all the detail of the customer. We can pull up some information from back end. So agent can see a 360 view of customer, the customer is authenticated, and it can really drive the discussion into resolution. The entire platform can come either on the cloud solution, SaaS offering, or on-prem. There is no need to do anything on the consumer side. There is no need to set up pre-configuration, upload a native app, whatever that will be. You can actually try it yourself later on with the demo center that we will share with you. We are actually reuse the existing investment into the IVR infrastructure and also in the business know-how. So we can actually take the decision tree from the IVR and populate them into visual, render them into a visual presentation. So this is it for the platform itself. I think maybe it makes sense now to move into a demonstration, and before that, doing that, maybe just to walk you into what we are going to demonstrate. So basically we are looking to a visual IVR. We will pick up the phone, we will call into the 1-800 number of the organization, and we will run into the IVR. We augment the IVR with additional audio prompt to offer people to opt in into a visual experience, and we offer this option only for customers that calling from a data-enabled device. So we have a lookup process. We understand who is calling from a data-enabled device, and we offer them to opt in. Once the customer opts in, we send them an SMS with the URL. They click the URL and they're running into a visual interaction. They can authenticate themselves. They can define call intent and try to do self-service activity. If they manage to complete that successfully, that's perfect. It's a call we don't have to take with an assistant agent. It's a win-win for the organization and the consumer. If we do want to connect, we will then run a connection into an assistant agent, and we'll show you how the agent side is looking like. So let me share with you the demo. So let's run the demo. I can actually pick up my phone and call into the organization number. Let's put the speaker on. Thank you for calling DCF Health Insurance. If you are on your smartphone, please press 1 so that we may send you important information and quickly give you the help you need. This is the fastest way to receive direct assistance from our team. If you prefer to wait for the next page, we are sending you an important text message. Please open this message and follow the link to quickly get the help you need to our new visual menu. The visual menu will help us put information to connect you to the best agents. So we dial in. We've been offered to opt in. We opt in into Visual IVR. We get an SMS with a URL. We click the URL and we run into the visual interaction. And the first question is whether we are a member or provider. Let's click as a member. Please select your reason for calling today. So we're first looking to call intent. And here is the menu with different options. Option like request an ID card, claim status, benefits, appointment, find a doctor, or something else. Let's go with the classical self-service use case with request an ID card. Please log on with your member ID and password. So the first step will be to do authentication, so we can type in a mix of letter and number. Now, once we're authenticated, the system can pull up information from backend for CRM and present for us the contact information. I can see here that the email address is not updated, so why don't we go and update that? So I can now get confirmation over email. Let's upload that information into the system. So the system confirms the details. I can say, yes, this is the right information. And here you go. The card is on the way. You should get it in 2 weeks. So this is one use case. Let's look into another use case. Let's look into claim status. So the system asks me for claim number or for a range of dates. Let's assume that I want to have all the claims in the records to be presented. And here is the claim that I was looking for, November 26th. Let's click on that and see the details behind it. So this is what the system come up with. The claim number, the status, the day, the hospital, the treatment, the cost. We see here that the total cost was about $5,500, and $1,400 out of that was going towards my deductible. Now, as a customer, I do have a proof of payment, which actually saw a total amount of $7,700. So there is some discrepancy, and probably this is something I want to share with an assistant agent. Let me pull up my mobile and take a picture of the document I'm holding in my hand. So we can easily share multimedia information. I'm taking a picture of the proof of payment and I can upload that into the system. So once the agent is connected, the agent will see that in his agent desktop. So we upload that. Now there are different options for us to connect. We can wait on hold for 4 minutes. We can schedule a call back, or we connect to a chat agent. Let's pick wait on hold. So these are the options for us to connect. And we are actually connecting to an agent. We are actually going to connect to a live agent. So now after we see the end user side, let's look into the agent side. So this is the interactive intelligence agent desktop. The call now will be connected, so the agent will accept the call. And later on we will have a script code that's really mapping the entire customer journey. All the data entry click that we did on the UI of the end user side will be available for the agent. So the agent can really run the discussion in context of what the customer is calling about. So the call is coming in, we are picking up the call. So after the agent picks up the call, let's look into the screen code. So what you see here is the raw data, request for ID card, telephone, the email address that we update, the picture that we loaded. So this is the raw data. We can also see that in the format of the visual IVR flow, so the visual of that. So the agent can really see any step, any click, any data entry that the customer has done. And it can really drive the discussion in context of what the customer is calling about and drive the discussion immediately into resolution. Perfect. So we saw the demo and we see two use cases. We see one use case that we actually drive into a completion. So that's the containment, that's the call you don't have to take. You order an ID card. And the second element, we see more complex use case where we need to go into an assistant agent and how we drive the connectivity contextually. So the agent will actually see the entire customer journey. He can have an evidence of payment and he can realize what is the discrepancy. And by those, reducing the effort on the agent side and the consumer side and drive the discussion into a quick resolution. So now after seeing the demo, maybe it makes sense for us to look into the case study. Sorry for that. So we are looking into a Fortune 500 organization in North America. We engaged with the organization somewhere towards the end of 2013, and we signed a contract by July 14. We were looking into, and we sit with business and IT, and we try to realize what are the business objectives. So they were looking into three main objectives. In one hand, they are looking to increase the containment rate over their existing self-service, and they were looking into additional 2% increasement. They were looking into reduce the effort on the consumer side, so reduce the time it takes to do the activation. I will explain what is the use case. And the third element, they want to increase the NPS. So we signed a contract end of July, and they want us to be in production before the holiday freeze. So in a matter which was there beginning of October. So in a matter of 2 months, 8 weeks, we moved from signing a contract, we did a design, build, run a UAT, a pilot, and drive that into production in a matter of 2 months. You can get a sense of a very quick time to market with implementation. Now let's look into the result of the production. We actually increased the self-service containment rate with additional 11 points, and think they were looking for 2%. So we increased that with additional 9% over their expectation. If you look into the adoption rate, almost 50% of the consumer that actually call in with a data-enabled device actually choose to opt in into Visual IVR once they've been offered to do so. And the most encouraging piece was the customer feedback. We have more than 98% of the customer that provide very positive feedback about the experience, and even more important, they actually share their willingness to use the application on their next interaction with the organization. And let's look why is that. So if you look here into down the left, you see how much it took to do the product activation. So actually the use case, you buy a software and you get a sequence of 32 digits that you have to type in into an IVR or in front of an agent. We do it visually, and we actually shave off 3 minutes out of the customer interaction. So if they used to do it over 4 minutes and 20 seconds, now with Visual IVR they do it only with 1 minute and 20 seconds. So we shave off around 70% of the time that it takes you to take the interaction into success, and that's big for the consumer side. And I will walk you in a second into some feedback that we got for consumer. On the business side, we are running a very solid ROI and business case. So for one use case across one line of business, we managed to drive a saving of $1.1 million annually. And that's an ROI with 3.5 months. So that was very encouraging. Maybe just to explain about what are the customer response. So at the end of the interaction, we offer customers to reply to a survey, which again, we drive over Visual IVR. So there are 5 questions that have to be rated 1 to 5. About 98% of the customer rate the application 5 out of 5. And these are the type of free verbiage that people type in into a free text window. So customers say, this is much easier, this is awesome, thank you, keep doing this is very cool system, this way is much better. And we have around 30,000 of free text like that in the first 3 months of production. So now you can realize that business realize what is the potential of saving, what is the level of customer experience and satisfaction We are actually now deploying across different 4 lines of business with this organization. And apart from the product activation, we are in the retail store. We enable customers to set up an appointment over the calendar themselves with a sales associate. We can enable customers to track an order, to track any repair, to look into store location and opening hours, etc. So they can do all that over the self-service channel. They don't have to talk with an assistant on the store. We're looking into more use cases. I can take an example of one of the use cases that we have, which is basically they don't try to drive the entire interaction into the self-service channel, just a portion of it. So they are looking into triage and authentication. Authentication is quite cumbersome here. It takes around 2 minutes to do it in front of an agent. So why don't we do it on a visual side, on the self-service side? So we push the authentication piece into the self-service platform, and we also do some kind of a triage. So we can really route the consumer into the right agent and get them quick into resolution. And all in all, when we are looking into these 4 lines of business and 4 use cases, 4 implementation, we are looking into a saving of over $6 million annually, and we are still counting as we are rolling out overseas and across other countries and different language other than English. So this is it for the case study. I think maybe now we can speak shortly with regard to general vertical and industry. So the platform itself, the ability to drive self-service and improve the customer experience, it's not limited to a specific vertical or use case. We are promoting that for 3 years now, and we are still learning of new use case, a new example of where the application can really help increase the customer satisfaction, to reduce the effort, and increase the success over the self-service. And we can speak into some of them. So we can see some cases that are actually purely inbound, but we also have use cases which are classical outbound. We see the product activation that we discussed about. Very classical use case, it's billing inquiry, and that's relevant across different vertical and industry. Technical support, again, applicable for different vertical and industry. We are implementing an accident assistant, road assistant type of application, enable consumer to use the GPS to really track where the consumer is, and also to share visual with regards to the car, an accident situation, whatever that is, with an agent, so we can really run the interaction into resolution quickly. Another classical one, which could be a mix of inbound and outbound, is subscription renewal, and as well as looking into travel and hospitality and travel rebooking, etc. So I think this is it from us on the presentation side, and we can getting now into closing, talking to the key takeaway, and then talk about what could be the potential next step for a follow-up here. So if we look into the enterprise today, so we know that enterprise invest heavily into the self-service offering, into the digital and mobile strategy. And we really believe that the integration between the Jacada Visual IVR and the Interactive Intelligent Platform can really empower this organization to drive adoption into the self-service, to equip the user with better tools, IT tools, and access to information, so consumers can go and do things themselves. They don't necessarily have to connect to an assistant agent. And if they do need to connect to an assistant agent, again, we are going and implement the contextual connectivity. So when the agent picks up the phone, we know who the customer is, he has a full view of the customer journey, the point of failure, and he can really wrap the discussion quickly into resolution. And these are the key values that the enterprise is winning. We are looking into reduce the effort on the consumer side, improve the experience and the loyalty to the organization. These organizations are competing on their marketplace with different providers, so definitely if they improve their interaction with the organization, with the tool, with the touch point that they enable customers to interact with the organization, make it easy for customers and reduce the effort, so they're better competing in the marketplace. And of course, once they increase the adoption and the containment and success over the self-service, they are driving a big saving similar to what we just present with this Fortune 500 organization in North America that managed to drive over $6 million in annual savings. So this is it on the key takeaway, and I think just want to walk you into what could be the next step here. So we will share with you the presentation. You will get access into the Visual IVR Demo Center, so you can actually pick up the phone, get a number from the demo center, and try it over your own device. You will see that you don't need any pre-configuration, any setup. Any device with connection to the internet will be able to run that. You will be able to connect into the Visual IVR. We can offer you to sign for a trial account, so you can actually get a tenant, you can drive your own interaction, you can build integration into backend, and you can build the workflow and decision tree and see how easy is that. And we also encourage you to reach back to us, and we will be more than happy to sit with you, with the IT organization, with the business, to realize what are the business objectives and build together a winning project to improve your customer experience. So what we will do, we will share with you the deck. You have the contact detail here, so we encourage you to reach out and get any question or request. We will be more than happy to support you. So I think this is it for the presentation side, and I think maybe it's a good time now to look into questions, and we really thank you for joining us today. Lee?
All right. Thank you very much, both Mary and Yaron, for your valuable insights on leveraging the interactive intelligence platform with Jacada's Omnichannel solution. Due to the high participation in this webinar, we'll answer as many questions as possible from the Q&A window, and then the remaining we'll answer via email shortly after the event. So now let's go to the Q&A window. I have a few questions here. The first question in the window says, how complicated is it to integrate existing CRM data into the self-service menu that you're providing? Yaron?
Thank you. Thank you for that. That's a very good question, and this is basically what we are doing in 90% of the implementation we are running. We do want to present the customer with the relevant information related to their accounts. So whenever we have a visual IVR interaction, we may integrate into a backend and pull up some information and make that available to the customer over the visual menu. And this is one of the core competence of Jacada. We've been in business for 25 years. This is one of our core competence. We know how to run integration into any type of backend system and application, and definitely into the most common CRM application, Salesforce.com, Microsoft, SAP, etc. So this is part of 90% of the implementation that we are doing.
Okay, we have a couple more questions surrounding implementation. Basically, they're asking if it's available both software as a service, SaaS, or on-premises. Is this offered for Visual IVR as well?
Yeah, definitely. So the majority of the implementation that we are doing, really looking into build SaaS deployment. So we offer that over the cloud solution. And that enables customers to reduce the heavy lifting of investment into CapEx in the early days, so they can test and sense the application and the technology and see how successful it is, and then they can adopt and increase the capacity and the need later on. However, other organizations, mainly to restriction with security, are looking into implementing on-prem, and we see that into the finance and banking, we see that into the healthcare. We are actually running now 2 large POC with 2 of the largest healthcare providers here in North America, and both of them actually looking for on-prem. So yeah, the application is available either on-prem or as a SaaS offering over the cloud.
Okay. The next question we have here, and Mary, you can chime in if you like any of these questions that are coming through the Q&A. The next question says, what is a typical development cycle and duration?
I think I can take that one. So we see different variation into that. So we just present a case study with this Fortune 500 organization. They really have urgency to go before the holiday freeze. So we really pull up resources and give it high priority. So we managed to do that in a manner of 8 weeks. The business already defined the requirements, so we were already good to go in terms of development and testing and drive that into production. So you can see that in a matter of 8 weeks, we run a project from signature into production. With other organizations, we may see a longer sales cycle, a longer implementation cycle. But in terms of the Jacada piece and having the designer and the ability to go and use an existing XML decision tree and just render that visually, and consider that we have integration point and plug in into the most common IVR infrastructure that we have in the marketplace, it could be in the matter of weeks, but I think typically it's fair to say that it will be in a matter of 2 to 3 months.
Okay, excellent. Well, we're going to wrap up with one last question here to allow our attendees to get back to their busy days. The last question here, and we typically, let's see, we have one more coming in. Well, we'll get to the questions that weren't answered during today's event, after the event via email. The last question we have here that we're going to be able to answer today, there's a few about pricing. So either Yaron or Mary can chime in about either one of these. People are asking if the pricing is available in the Interactive Intelligence price book, or how do they find out about pricing?
So I can take that. So we are Alliance partner with Interactive Intelligence. Currently, our material code are not inside the Interactive Intelligence price book, and we are working with Interactive to see how we can do that. So any engagement, any interaction on the commercial side will go through the Interactive Intelligence partner or directly with Jacada.
Okay. Any final words, Mary? I think she's still on mute. Oh.
Nope. I think Yaron answered all the questions that came in.
Okay, excellent. Well, thanks again to Mary Burr, Global Alliance Manager at Interactive Intelligence, and of course Yaron Ben Slouch, AVP, Strategic Partners for Jacada. Excuse me. If there are any questions that we were unable to answer during today's session, then we'll respond to you directly after the event. We hope you've gained valuable insight into Visual IVR and how easily you can utilize it to enhance your organization's customer service. A replay of the event will be available soon on Jacada.com, along with the download link to the presentation. Thank you for attending today, and please visit us again at Jacada.com, and have a wonderful day.